Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to our witnesses for being here today. In New Mexico, Kirtland Air Force Base and White Sands Missile Range have been at the forefront of developing and testing cutting-edge missile defense technology, which includes most recently the testing of the next generation of short-range interceptors. It's evident that these bases play a critical role in air and missile defense and that the department relies on to keep our homeland safe. These two installations offer a unique focus on growing the department's understanding and use of directed energy and electronic warfare capabilities on the battlefield. Electronic warfare and directed energy systems offer relatively inexpensive but very effective alternatives for taking down low-cost drones, short-range rockets, artillery, and mortars. Systems like the Army's Directed Energy Maneuver Short-Range Air Defense Systems or the Navy's Slick 32 have demonstrated the potential that this type of technology could have to defend against varying missile threats, with estimations to be as little as $3 per shot. My first question is for Lieutenant Collins. I understand some of this development and testing is being done at Kirtland and White Sands. How is the Missile Defense Agency working with these two bases to field this technology and potentially use to counter varying missile threats?
Thanks, Congressman. It's a great question. We are very much all in and focused on bringing directed energy to the fight as we move forward. My directed energy leads in office are actually on Kirtland Air Force Base, so we're very closely tied in with Kirtland Air Force Base and the Air Force portions of work in directed energy. And in this budget and our way forward, we are certainly putting more attention into bringing potentially game-changing directed energy capabilities to bear in an unmanned platform. Air platform is what we're focused on, so we can bring that capability to the edge of the fight and thin the herd on UAVs, potentially air threats, and the like. So we're very into that, and we're driving through on that experimentation as we move forward. And then WSMR is just a national capability of air and missile defense testing, and so it always will be.
Thank you, Lieutenant General. I encourage you to keep utilizing these important bases in my district, which have played a leading role, as you know, since World War II in developing this technology. Now, let me turn to why this applies to the current threats that we are facing today. Within the last year, it's become increasingly apparent that missiles and interceptors are an essential requirement of the modern-day battlefield. And depending on the U.S. interceptor, costs can range anywhere from $4 to $90 million. From $4 million to $90 million. And as our adversaries increasingly employ low-cost methods to force the U.S. to deplete valuable and expensive interceptors, we must adapt to limit this cost disparity and preserve our firepower for when it's needed the most. Lieutenant General Collins, what else is the department doing to pivot to ensure that our U.S. missile defense interceptors are adapting to the strategies of our enemies and that we can rapidly deploy this new technology rather than traditional missiles?
Thank you, Congressman. First, in the first lane, we have some very proven systems with incredible capability that are being proven in the desert today. We are always driving to figure out how to drive the cost of those down. One, through the acceleration and quantities that we're going to talk about. We're going to have savings in those, but those are pretty exquisite and unique weapons as we move forward. We are continuing to push down directed energy and non-kinetics to change the cost equation and increase magazine depth, as well as part of our push into more disruptive technologies for the fight. Affordability is actually one of our key technology thrust areas, and bringing that to bear. We have started a low-cost interceptor study at this point with a few vendors where we're taking a look at actually pushing a cost target on a capability and using modern day design and manufacturing capabilities to see what threat base we can cover down with a reduced cost weapon to really help. If we can reduce the cost of the weapon, we can increase the magazine depth through that affordability. And we're very much starting that process. We're really moving forward in low-cost interceptors and wide area kill mechanisms and the like to make sure that we can continue to drive affordability into the equation.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant General. And I can't stress how important it is as you talk about those low-cost solutions for my district, because we have some really innovative small businesses, startup companies, spin-offs from our national labs that not only lower the cost of the munition itself, but reduce costs of, if we're doing space, getting that weapon or getting that system into orbit, the deployment and the operation and the maintenance of these systems as well, which we are hoping to be added as approved vendors into our defense industrial base. And so I look forward to seeing how the department maintains its U.S. missile defense moving forward and employing these low-cost measures. Thank you, Chairman. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.